Okay, I believe we're live. Welcome everybody to Weekend Wind Down with Business Coach Nancy. You guys all know me as you come on, and I'm so excited. But before I tell you who I'm with today and what our topic is, if you didn't read the preview, I am drinking, I wanted a rosé today. So I'm drinking Notorious Pink. The woman at the liquor store said it's lovely, and it actually really is. It's not as heavy as a Chardonnay, which is what I normally drink. So anyway, quick recap of my week. I mean, just tons of clients on the calendar, writing my course, promoting my Las Vegas event, that actually Luann's Las Vegas event that I'm one of the speakers at the Power Talk Friday Las Vegas tour. It's actually a full day of coaching with 5 powerhouses. I'm being one of them. So I hope you guys, if you're going to Vegas, you'll come join us. And I am so excited about having Lorianne here today, because if you guys don't know me that well, I'm really not a fashionista. Right? I try to be appropriate, but I'm kind of like a jeans and t-shirt girl, even jeans shorts. So when I'm making presentations, I want to pump it up a notch, and I know you guys do too. So Lorianne Robinson, thank you so much for being here. You're our resident, my first fashion consultant and stylist that I've ever interviewed. So I'm so excited.
Oh, it's the maiden voyage. I'm excited. Thank you for asking me, Miss Nancy.
We're in such a visual world, especially because I coach primarily interior designers and other creative entrepreneurs. So the appearance does matter. Your first impression when you're meeting a client. I mean, I think less for me because I'm kind of like from here up. So like, who cares what I'm wearing, like my pajama pants and my shorts? But
Right.
when you're walking into a client and they're home for the first time, I think that it's really important. So tell everybody a little bit as they come on. I'll greet people, but tell everyone your history, because you've got quite the resume.
I know, sometimes I think back on all the years and I'm like, where did those years go? And trying to remember everything is just mind-boggling. And I thought, wow, I guess really have done a lot. But I started very early on out of art school, and I started as an apprentice in a theater program that Burt Reynolds used to have in Florida. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I always get the big, yes. It was through Florida State, and it doesn't exist anymore. But at the time, it was pretty amazing. And I worked at the theater as an apprentice, and then I ended up moving up to resident designer. And all in all, I was there probably close to 5 years or so. And this was in Jupiter, Florida. It's in the South Florida area. And then I met a designer that lived out here in Los Angeles, and she said, "When are you going to get out of here? Are you
a fashion designer?
A costume designer.
Costume designer.
Costume designer that came to the theater. She was doing she was a guest designer because we had lots of guest designers. And I said, yeah, you're right. I need to get out of here. She said, you're going to rot here. You got to get out of here. And, I was young. I was in my 20s, and she was right. So she lived out here in Los Angeles. So she was instrumental in getting me out here. She said, come out. I could use you. I need the help, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, I'm packing up my stuff and moving cross country, which was really at that time, and not knowing anybody out here was, I think back on it, and I remember the stomach pain I used to have.
That's an anxiety-provoking situation.
Yeah. I was, coming from a fairly bubble-type existence in Florida to the big world, and especially into Los Angeles, which was huge. So I did it. I didn't really think back. I just plowed ahead, and I ended up working my way through a couple of different shows that she was doing and assisting, and then eventually she was instrumental in introducing me to the costume designer of a very well-known daytime drama, General Hospital. I'm sure maybe a few of you might have heard of that one. It's been on now let me think. 50 some years now. Yeah, getting close to 60 years now. Anyway, I ended up working there. I was the first one that interviewed and got the job right away, and the rest was kind of history. I I worked from assistant designer, eventually up to the costume designer, and then ended up working on another daytime drama in between my tours of duty, I like to say, at General Hospital. I worked at the Bold and the Beautiful. And so I kind of bounced back and forth. But I did some film and TV work and music videos. Remember those? MTV?
Yeah, I love that.
That was not my genre. I was not a rock and roller. Yeah, it was an experience. And
disco?
I was...
Maybe disco?
Yeah, it was. I got to work with the late, great Tom Petty on a really big music video that he did way back in the early 90s. But anyway, it was an interesting experience. Working in Los Angeles in a whole was incredibly interesting. And the people that I got to meet, some good, some bad, it was just, it gave you a really good, well-rounded education as far as dealing with people and working with all sorts of different types of people, and their wants and needs and so forth. So I figured when I started my own business, I was going to be able to deal with anybody. After working in entertainment, nothing will faze me, which it really doesn't. It really doesn't. It takes a lot to really, for me to go, really? So, yeah, so that's kind of how the progression went. And then in 2004, I started my own business, image consulting and fashion consulting, and not really having, your viewers might be really interested in this, I had no business experience whatsoever.
All creative.
All creative. Had no idea how to run a business.
So talk about a leap of faith. I mean, that's what I do. I business coach.
Right.
And I realized, I'm not sure you're in my private group. You should jump in there. So if anyone ever has a fashion stylist question,
Okay.
Fashionable Entrepreneurs is my group. But without any business experience.
Now, when you work in entertainment, or when I did, what I call back in the day with the dinosaurs, before it got really, really kind of creepy as it is now. We're not even going to go into that, but it was always creepy, but not as creepy as it is now. All you really ever needed to do was learn how to do the paperwork. And every production studio was different with their paperwork. So that's all we really, as far as business acumen, needed to do. And of course, have a sense of propriety and what's right and what's wrong and so forth, and not talking, back to people, just the usual. But anything else, marketing, all the other things that, of course, that a lot of the stuff wasn't available back in the day with the videos, doing the videos and Facebook. We didn't even have the computer. So a lot of it.
You have a cell phone.
Yeah, it was, you go in the phone book, the newspaper. Yeah, it was a whole different world, but I had no experience with profit and loss or any of that. It was really quite the awakening when I started my own business. And I've sort of just basically self-taught myself, along with having coaching in between there and taking courses and all of that good stuff. And I sort of became now a bit of a tech nerd and really enjoy the technology. And I'm one of those people gets really excited about going into the Apple Store. It's like, yeah.
And I see you do videos regularly. Tell everybody where you do your videos so they can find you there. We'll leave at the end.
I do have a YouTube channel. It's Lori Ann Robinson. So I do have a YouTube channel that I've had for, almost 10 years now. For many years there, I wasn't doing too much with it, but now I'm doing a lot more with it. And then on my Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page, Lori Ann Robinson, I do Facebook Lives. And I love to do Facebook Lives too. And
I love your Facebook Lives. Whenever I can catch them and I get notified, and when I can, I get mad because you're doing Facebook Lives from not only your own closet, your own home, you're in stores, and you're in meeting rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one I'm watching, you were like whispering.
I know. I have a rather loud voice. And, it's from my public speaking and not having microphones half the time. So I had learned to have a full, robust voice. And I will do that when I'm doing my interviews or my videos. So I never have to usually worry about a microphone. But when I'm in a department store dressing room, it's another story because I don't want to get busted.
I love your job though, because your Facebook, like you just go out to the stores and you start showing us things like, this is the latest, don't buy this. Right? This is like, it's not going to look good on your body. This will look good on your body. And it's just so informative and it's so enlightening, but still to get that personalized service from you, people, I guess, hire you. Is that the way you work? I don't know anything about your business model.
I work not only because of the way the digital world has become, with the way all of us need to work now. I can work virtually and I can work with people in person. So virtually, I'll explain that. I work through Skype or Zoom, and people actually can have a full-on consultation with me, and we can do color analysis. I can do style analysis, and we don't go shopping together, but what I do is I go through the stores that is in that person's area or that they're really kind of keen on ordering online from, and I will pick out stuff, and I'll give them an entire listing of everything that I'm thinking for them. So that's
fascinating to me, because I literally, we're going to get into specific tips for people who are listening, so don't go away. But I really hate shopping. Like literally go into a store, I'm like, oh my God, I just want to get this one blue shirt. It's my branding color. Try it on. It looks okay. Leave. So I do, those services where they deliver the box to you, right? They get it wrong half the time because that's
what I've heard. That makes me sad.
And so I just got a box today. I have wide feet. The shoe is too thin because they didn't indicate. So I thought, I'll keep it in the box. One blue shirt I didn't end up trying on yet, but it looks okay. But this was out of like 15 items that they had picked for me. That I wouldn't buy that many items in one sitting anyway. But I thought, why am I doing this? Because I'm just too lazy to get my ass into a store and spend the hours that it takes. But I'm so busy, and it's not one of my fortes. Even when I go out and shop, I'm like, does this look good? So I love what you do. I think that service for people like me, or people who are trying to change their image a little bit. Maybe they need to be more public, or they're looking to be perceived differently. It's such a phenomenal service that you provide.
Yes, I really have morphed it so that it makes it easier for people to work with me. And I've worked with people overseas. I've actually had people overseas even fly in to work with me. So I worked that way too. And I set up a whole day, really logistically, I get my logistics down from years of, shopping for television shows. I really learn how to hone in on areas, and I do pre-shopping. So I do a lot of homework before I take someone shopping. And then, as I said, I work with people that are local, if they are local, or if they're flying in to visit a family member and say, hey, I only have a day, or a couple of hours, what can we do? And I'll make it work no matter what. And, and then I also work, Nancy, with people's budgets. I'm not what you call a celebrity stylist, only working with the elitists and top echelon, the people that don't, will buy $1,000 pair of shoes and not blink twice. I don't do that. I really look for good value for my clients. Wearability, longevity on certain items, and work with them as far as stores they're comfortable with and price points that they're comfortable with. I think that's really important.
I think it is too. And even like the designers, sometimes they'll bring in a showcase piece and that'll cost the client a little bit more, but then they can balance it out with more high quality economical pieces. So you basically do the same thing for fashion.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm cool. I purchase things at Target for myself. They have at summertime. They have some of the best. What I just like little wash and wear dresses and stuff to just if you're just bopping around and doing some groceries shopping or whatever. I'll shop there. I'll run the gamut, and then I'll go all the way, to Neiman Marcus. So
Right.
I go everywhere. I cross section all of it.
All right. So let's jump into some tips. So
Okay.
you would be able to tell me best what are the biggest struggles. Like I know what my struggles are, and I know what a lot of other women friends of mine have as a struggle. But give us some of your best tips on dressing for your age and dressing to impress?
Okay. And as you said about hating to go into a store, I hear this over and over. That's probably one of the biggest struggles because the stores, the way they're set up now and the way they have shifted their demographics that they're catering to is very frustrating for us gals over 40. I'm just going to say over 40 in general.
Yeah. Okay. So those of you who are listening, if you want to tell me whether you're under or over 40, we could say in here so Lorianne can even get more specific. But I have a feeling most are going to be over. Let's see. Under or over, guys.
We go into stores, and this even for me, and I'm a hardcore, professional. It's so frustrating. I'm ready to just scream in the middle of the store sometimes about everyone's trying to get on the youth market bandwagon. I understand that, but I'm sorry. Those are not the people that are affording certain items of clothing. And why are you switching your entire store to market to them and they're not going to buy it?
Right.
So it's going to end up being the over 40 crowd buying it when they shouldn't be because it's a little too youthful looking. They're going to look like they're trying too hard, like they're in their daughter's clothing or even, God forbid, granddaughter's clothing. And all the time. I cannot tell you how much I see it. So I think what you have to do, and again, let's go back to what most women hate to go in the store shopping. Most women hate to go and look in the mirror, especially with the lighting in the stores, especially, put on a couple of pounds or whatever. We freak out, total freak out. And then another thing that's going on are the sizing that the manufacturers are playing games with, cutting garments a lot smaller than they used to. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
So wait a minute. If I can still fit into a size 6, I think that's a joke. I should not be fitting into a size 6.
Probably if it was a 6 that you bought maybe 5 or 6 years ago, it's probably going to be about a 10 now. And so then that plays with our minds.
Yeah.
Us as women don't want to see those size tags at all. We take it really hard if we see that. We don't want to see those numbers going up at all. And they started doing it with bras like years ago. Bras are still the same, with sizing on the bras.
Are they?
Uh-huh. They make the cups smaller so that you end up, if you were, say, a D in the 80s, you're now going to have to go into the Fs because a D.
What is that all about?
I know. It's again.
Listen, I don't know if any men are watching, but bras are a huge issue.
You guys have no idea. The whole industry would change if guys ran the bra industry.
Here. No, I'm telling you, bras, if we could we might have to do a private Zoom just on bras because
just on bras. Yeah, it's a big bugaboo of mine.
It's unbelievable. I can't even get a strap. I'm a big chested woman and I've gained weight over the years. I can't even get a strapless bra that stays up, doesn't bulge, doesn't hurt, and doesn't give me a ridge in anything I'm wearing that needs a strapless bra. So it looks like I'm a loaf of bread attached to it's horrible.
I know strapless bras are one of the toughest classifications for us gals that have any kind of boobages. They're really, really, really difficult. There's certain lines that are better than others, but it's a tough one. A strapless bra, especially in the summertime we tend to have a lot of dresses that are sleeveless or halters or whatever that you need strapless bra, and it's just like you want to cry,
You want to cry and you walk out
braless.
God, no.
No.
No, God, no. I remember years ago they did that whole pencil test, right? Do you have any pencils? I'm like, okay, failed the pencil test, gotta go.
So, anyway, so, again, women hate to see that, the sizes and all of that. So then all of that just kind of feeds into their not wanting to go into a shopping center and not knowing what to buy and being so frustrated. They rather just wear stuff that's threadbare and that's 10 years old than having to go in and buy new things because it's so upsetting.
So how do we get over this?
Well, what you have to do is pick a few stores or online stores that that are going to cater more to your age group.
Are you allowed to give suggestions? Because I don't know if you have affiliates.
No, I don't.
I go into some stores that I think, okay, I'm going age appropriate. I walk in the store and I'm like, ew, this stuff makes me look like my grandmother and I'm not doing it. And I tend to go back to the stores where, maybe it's too young for me, but I can't seem to transition. I think it's very hard for a lot of us to stay stylish, but transition.
Yes, that's an excellent point. All stores are not created equal as far as the buying goes. So a lot of times with the department stores, you have to, if you have the luxury, now here in Los Angeles we do, but I know a lot of you gals don't have that luxury where you can go to maybe 3 or 4 of the same department store in a day, but they're all going to be different with the merchandise because a lot of times they buy for the area. But what I will say is a lot of times what happens is the stores don't have the real estate to put everything in. So what they do is put things in the stores that they think are going to sell or that maybe eye candy but not really practical. But where you can really do the work and find the great items is a lot of times you have to go online. Now, a lot of you may not like that, but I'm telling you, they're like 10 times amount of merchandise online than there is in the stores.
So do you pick out a brand? Like I know Michael Kors looks good on
Michael Kors is a great over 40. Calvin Klein is a good over 40. Donna Karen's got a little wacky lately because she's not really designing the stuff anymore. It's a little, you have to picky choosy on that. Ralph Lauren has always been a classic, a very
East Coast. Is classic boring or is it classic, like classic, what style classic?
It is classic. It's pretty much very conservative, let's put it that way. But he does do some pieces that have a little bit of a twist here and there. You just have to kind of go through and look. It's not all, the little polo horsey kind of polo shirt kind of things. You have to just kind of look through and see if there's, if you want to do something a little bit more interesting than say, a blouse or polo shirt kind of look. I think for the most part, Karen Kane, I love that line. I think that's one of the most flattering lines for women, especially if you've got guttage and buttage.
Just a little bit. All right, I'm writing that down. Karen Kane.
Karen Kane and the boobages. She cuts for a woman. See, a lot of them don't cut with boobs and butts and bellies in mine, the 3 Bs.
And where does she sell out of? Is this her own?
She sells out of Bloomingdale's and Macy's, but online there's a lot more. But not all Macy's carries the line, and not all Bloomingdale's carry the line. So, and I think maybe Lord & Taylor on your East Coast might carry her for. So that's kind of thing you might have to go online. So, but they cut for more what I call a woman's figure.
I just have to acknowledge some of these comments, Lori, because I'm starting to crack up, and I don't want you to think I'm cracking up at you. So, okay. So I got to go backwards. Sonia says, love it. Buttage, guttage, and boobage.
No, gals. I mean, let's get real. You know, because the way I say it is this was not in the brochure about getting older. Where was that in the brochure? You're going to get a gut, a bigger butt, and boobages, like huge boobages.
Nobody told me having kids would make my boobs bigger, but I guess gaining weight, I sort of knew that.
Yeah, and that the weight was going to come on like out of nowhere, and no matter what, how little you eat, then it was all of a sudden going to go boom. You know?
Definitely.
Eileen Fisher. Oh wait a minute, he looks like
Jill and Eileen Fisher. He says I look like a square, like SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay, yes, those two lines are really, I struggle with those two lines. Those are hit and miss. Some things, yes, are too square and make you look short and squatty. But Eileen Fisher occasionally will have some pieces that are a little bit more fitted, but I understand how your husband boycotted that. Jill is another one. They've got some great summer pieces right now, but I think they run very large, so you need to go down a size or even two. They cut very wide, and so depending on where you have your weight issues, you might be able to go down a couple of sizes. But they've got some nice pieces, but you have to just be careful again. Like on the J. Jill, remember when Coldwater Creek was around and Eileen Fisher, that it tends to be square. Now, women don't want to look square. I don't know one woman that wants to look, as you said, I'm not sure what your name was, I'm sorry, SpongeBob. Who wants to look like SpongeBob?
Christine, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the good workarounds, and what I've adopted for myself and with my clients, is have things with a little bit of stretch. Like what I'm wearing right now, it's like a rayon jersey with stretch. So it will mold on your body and not be so square, but give you that freedom and be stretchy enough that it'll fit in the bust line, and it glides over my stomach and hips.
But then doesn't that emphasize, before I'm going to ask this question, but I want to tell everyone, please share this broadcast if you have friends on your list that have fashion issues like the rest of us, because I think this is a great show so far, and we have another half an hour, and it's only going to get better. So please share. Sharing is caring, as Joe Hecker would say.
Really good if I was drinking a glass of wine, but
I know, let me have a sip. But no, okay, so when I wear I tend to go for more of the stretchy, and then what do? I turn around and I look and I go,
back bacon?
Back fat.
Yeah, back bacon. I know.
Back bacon. I never heard that one, but that's a new one. The back fat and the bulge, like the over the what's it called? The cupcake top?
The muffin top.
Muffin top. Thank you. Cupcake top. That was so funny. Cupcake top.
Cupcake top.
It's more of a muffin than a cupcake.
Yeah, cupcake over here.
That's the way my brain works as I get older. Misassociations all the time.
That's okay. I like that. I'm going to use that one. Cupcake.
So what do we do?
Well, sometimes what you have to do in that case, when you start to get the back bacon, what I reluctantly do is, because it's stretch, the sizing can be a little more forgiving than if you're having a hard fabric. So if it's stretch, I sometimes just go up a size, just to facilitate not seeing my bra and this chunk over here, because it's summertime right now, and you don't want to. There are all sorts of undergarments you can be wearing, but we're not going to go there right now because that's a whole other show, to camouflage that and to hold you in. But I don't really know anybody that wants to wear something like that.
It's so uncomfortable.
It's too uncomfortable in the summertime. In the winter when it's 2 degrees, yeah, fine, no problem. any warmth is great, but right now you don't want to do that. And then the other thing, you want to know a good trick that okay, Nancy, if this is your problem, and say it's okay, it's fine over your cupcake roll. It's grabbing on your back bacon a little bit, and you don't really, if you try it on the next size up and it's really too big, okay, you can do a little trick that I've been doing for years. I take a little cotton cardigan and I just tie it around my shoulders. So then it will hit right down there and it covers up the back bacon.
Good idea. Okay.
And you can use a color or a print. And I know you like to wear black, and this is where you can filter in some of your color. Because you told me you don't like scarves around your neck.
Oh, no, scarves they're so beautiful when I see other people wearing them. So I go, oh, let me do a scarf. I literally start to sweat the minute I put anything on my neck, no matter what material it is. I've tried them all.
Yeah. So what I do with the cardigan is I don't kind of fit it up against my neck. I fold it down and flip it so that it comes out here on my shoulders, and then I tie it. But it's like a little capelet, and it covers up the stuff. And I can cover up if that bra fat was just, a little bit too much. Or another one that I like to do is do little like crocheted, lightweight because it's the summer, crocheted little 3/4 cardigans or little
It's almost like a bolero jacket?
A little bolero jacket, thank you. Little bolero jacket that are crocheted because it's lightweight enough, camouflages, and it looks cute, especially if you don't like your arms either, because that's another body part. Most women just all of a sudden their arms go amok. And, and wearing, hot tops with the 3/4 sleeves or whatever sometimes is just a little bit too much. That's why I love those little crocheted pieces that you could just, or lace or whatever, to throw over, that air still gets through there for us menopausal gals, and you're covered, so it's function and fashion meet together.
That's the key of figuring out that balance between function and fashion. And I love that fact that you said that's a way of bringing color into if you have a very neutral oriented, and I know a lot of us like to wear the dark colors, we feel more confident in, but let me tell you, ladies, it's sucking the living life out of your faces. Really? Do I look like I'm sucked on? Well, my branding color is blue, but I do always I'm black and blue basically all the time.
Okay. Blue is a beautiful color. And there are warm blues and cool blues. And you can, always pop blue over black. And it looks, you get that vibrancy of the blue, especially with brighter blues, royal blues, robin's egg blue, turquoisey blues, all sorts of different blues that you can incorporate into your wardrobe. So it's another way to do that without, if you're not feeling comfortable wearing something completely, bright blue, which I understand. It might not be, you're not feeling, it might be out of your comfort zone. But if you popped a cardigan or a little bolero or something of that sort over top, then that gives you the color, and it detracts from all the black, the suck out your face black that the black will do to us. And it'll actually make you feel lighter and brighter. I challenge everybody that's watching this. Something. Yeah, I got a challenge for y'all.
Okay.
And I do this with my clients all the time. Go out over the weekend if you're going to be out and about, even doing your errands, whatever. Wear something all dark, and then one day, and then another day, at least on your upper half, wear something brighter, one of your better colors. I mean, not so much bright, but one of your better colors that you always get compliments on, and wear that the next day, and just see how people react to you. See how you feel. See if you feel more alive and vibrant than you wearing just all dark. Now you can wear whatever color you want on the bottom. because I realize everybody likes to wear dark on the bottom because we have our stuff. But just wear, the good color around your face. Put a little bit of makeup on. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just a little bit, at least get some, maybe a little mascara. Fill in your eyebrows and lipstick. That's like an easy, easy way if you are not a makeup wearer or it's incredibly hot where you are, just as a little workaround, just to kind of give your face a little oomph. Don't forget your eyebrows. Fill your eyebrows in.
Yeah, what is with the dark eyebrows now?
Yeah, it's sort of the trend, but having a very defined eyebrow really makes a difference on your face. And it brings out your features. And I do
my eyebrows. I need to go define my eyebrows.
Don't need the. Yeah, yours are gone. You don't have.
Why? Because they're freaking gray now, and I hate when if I dye them, they get too dark. So anyone else have this problem? When the hairdresser wants to put them, they're going to get too dark, and I feel like then I'm all eyebrow. So I don't do it. So I do have a pencil. I just don't use it.
Yeah, do a pencil. There's a product now out by Maybelline that I've been using. It is it's in a tube, and it's got a doe foot, a spongy thing on it, like it would almost be like a lip gloss. And it's called Brow Tattoo by Maybelline. And it actually will stay on a couple of days. Now, I don't like the applicator because you really will then look like Groucho Marx with this giant big eyebrow. But I take a little brush and I brush the paste of the liquid on, and it's really good to go in there and to fill in those spots, because eyebrows totally frame your face, and it finishes off your face with a makeup look. And I finally got on board with it all. Now some girls, go overboard, but for the most part, us gals, as we get older, we get gray. We get sparse eyebrows. We need to frame our face to have our features pop. So if you want your eyes to pop, do your eyebrows, little mascara, and some lipstick. And of course, don't forget your sunscreen. And go. If you're just doing roundabout errands and you don't want to do a full on face.
All right. Okay. So yeah, that's all good. I'm just texting my son who just peeked in, and I'm like, no, I'm live. so I'm texting him instead. No, I'm live. Okay.
So getting back to something that you had said about how to ramp up your look, and what you said about learning what designers or manufacturers work best for your body type. Yeah. I think that's really important. So that takes some work. You either have somebody like me help you do it, or if you want to do it, cool. But it takes some work to do it, because certain designers will have different, like what they call the fit models, and they gear their clothes towards a certain body type. For instance, I'll use Armani for an example, because this is always a good example. He cuts for women that absolutely have no chest, like flat women. And so if any women have a larger bust line, it's really hard to wear his stuff, because you almost have to go up 2 to 3 sizes and then have it altered. Wow. Yeah. So don't be alarmed if that happens. And that will happen if you're not buying garments with stretch in them, if you're buying dresses that are of a woven fabric. If you do have big boobs, and there's no give to the fabric, you're going to have to probably go up a size or 2 to get the fit in the bust line, and then have to alter maybe the hips or the waist.
So that's the reality, right? Because I've had to go up. I could go up to a size 14 sometimes, but my lower half is like a size 8. I'm definitely SpongeBob SquarePants. So I never think bring it in for altering.
You've got to. If you're going to look good, you've got to. And it's not that big of a deal. Just, sometimes you can even find a great tailor at a cleaners. Not all of them have them, but do a bit of research. There's amazing people that are, they're kind of half retired that end up working at the dry cleaners, and they really have some major talent going on. So So
That's
don't.
probably key, right? Finding a tailor that you really trust, feel comfortable in front of, can say like, how can you make me look better in this? And they just know what to do.
They do. For the most part, they do. I've been working with tailors for years, and I know a lot about construction. So I always kind of like to listen to see what their suggestion is, and then I'll go, okay, they know, my little test. But yeah, altering, that's the key. As you know, we tend to get more mature, that we need to alter, because men very rarely buy suits right off the rack without getting them altered. It's if they do, most likely they're not fitting very well. But you get to the point where things shift and you need to alter. You just do. It's a fact.
Absolutely. And okay, so let's talk about length of skirts, appropriate shoes.
Okay.
That are still stylish. I'm a big heel wearer. I love heels because I'm only 5'1" on my good days.
I didn't realize you were vertically. Okay, I'm taller.
I know.
5'3". I'm so taller than you.
When people meet me in person and they've been my clients, like I remember a couple of people online were meeting me for the first time at a live event, and I felt the need to say, just so you know, I'm really short. Because when you're virtual, if you have a big personality, suddenly you look tall.
I know. Nobody has any idea how, really petite you really are. So skirt lengths, there is a variety that's out there now. It's anything goes. I've seen everything in the stores. There's not one particular length right now at all. It is summer, so I'll see a more of an influx of some of the shorter skirts. And here's my theory on the shorter skirts for us gals over 40, or actually probably almost over 50, because still in your 40s, I think if you start looking at your knees, and your knees don't look pretty anymore, and you get your quad that starts to hang down a little bit, you've lost your muscle tone, and that quad starts to hang over the kneecap, and your kneecap looks really fleshy. That is not pretty. That's not pretty. That will be fine if you're wearing pantyhose, and God forbid anybody wear pantyhose.
Nobody wears pantyhose anymore.
Yeah. So you're much better off wearing a skirt like like mid-knee, cut right in the middle in the summertime, or just like right smack below your knee where your leg starts to go in. Because then what happens is your knees come into the side and then your calves go out. So right in there is better if your knees are really starting to look a little on, which I often say the Cabbage Patch doll look. It's just like this scrunchy little ugly face that happens on your knee.
This is why I love your lives, because you talk exactly like this on your lives. You're like, your analogies are so funny. So my legs are still pretty good, I think. I don't have like knees.
Then I would go maybe just a little bit above the knee. I don't think going mid thigh is appropriate anymore, nor is it comfortable. If any of you find that wearing skirts like we used to wear back in the day are comfortable, let me know, because I just feel so self-conscious getting in and out of a car, like I'm going to flash everybody, or just even getting up off of a sofa. Your knee is good. Then show those legs off. But
show those legs if your knees are good. Wear it at the knee or slightly below the knee.
Or the longer skirts. I'm telling you, the long skirts are really sexy. They're not skirts. Skirts are cute. I just don't like taking all of that. It's just too much to take off in a ladies' room. It's like with the skirt, you got to undo the whole thing. You can't, it's no easy. You know what I mean?
Listen, let's talk honest. I love skirts. Almost everything. If you guys ever see me in a skirt, most of the time it's a skirt. And let me tell you why. Because when I sweat, I like to have a skirt on. when I'm last night I was in the city, I'm walking through the city, my son's going 300 miles an hour and I'm trying to keep up with my little legs and I am dripping wet everywhere. And I'm thinking, oh, thank God I have a skirt on, because I would be chafing and not feeling so good if I wasn't wearing a skirt. Just being honest.
Yeah. Well, I've got that problem too. I love, do you do the Caldesane powder? That helps in the summertime with the chafing. Yeah, that old fashioned Caldesane powder. Calden. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's SENE. It's been around since the year of the flood, and it's really good for chafing and it absorbent. And it's good, yeah, because in the summertime, yeah, it's on Amazon. I think it's like a slightly pale pink powder. It comes in a pink canister.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's old time stuff, but it works. It works for the chafing. Guys can use it for jock itch too, which is awesome.
If there are any guys listening right now, that was for you.
Yeah, we all get it. It doesn't. It just comes in fancier names.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk. We didn't talk shoes yet, but now my brain's jumping. V-necks, boat necks, I love your jewelry. Every time I put on a big, beautiful piece of jewelry like yours, I think I look ridiculous, and I put it back.
Okay. Some people just can't or just don't look good in larger jewelry. I've got a very large face, very, very big face. So it works for me, and I've got a large, wide upper body. So, but if you're more on the narrow side and have a smaller face, you'll get lost in the big statement pieces of jewelry. I've got a lot of spans to use, so that's where I can wear the big pieces. So pick your style. So even if you wanted something a little bit on the chunky rhinestoney side, maybe it's not going to be so big and chunky like some of the ones I wear. It's going to be a little bit smaller, a little bit more dainty. A lot of the necklaces right now are very thin chains and layering.
Okay.
Beautiful, but I always would get tangled in those, back when the 70s when I would do that. Remember that? We did all that. They were constantly a tangled ball. But some of them are really just quite lovely. And then you have all sorts of little stones and pendants on them. That's sort of the look right now, which really works well for the summer because it's lightweight, so it's not big and heavy. Whereas if you're wearing a big chain or big chunky thing, those are going to be hotter to wear. And if you don't feel comfortable in them, then leave them in the store. There's so many other options. But the one item that I will caution everybody to right now, and I put it on my Facebook page because I just think they're hideous, are the earrings and stuff that look, okay, you're interior design gals, that look like tassels, like you're putting on drapes and valances and things. They're tassels, they're fabric.
Oh.
And they look like a night in Scheherazade or something.
Anyone want to admit they own those? Come on, you can do it. We're among friends.
First of all, if you wear makeup, any of your makeup is going to get all over them, and you can't really wash those well because they're going to disintegrate. It's like if you would throw something with a tassel on it into the washer. How's that work out?
Never.
It's not going to work out very well. And I think it's a weird trend. I don't know why it's out there right now, but it is. And, if you want to go wear them for a fun party, like a fiesta of some sort, then yeah, go ahead and wear them. But for the most part, those are not going to look particularly well for us gals over 40. Again, it's one of those things that it looks like we've got a piñata on our ear, and it looks like we're trying so hard to be hip. It's not going to happen.
It's not gonna, I love your necklace too, because I tend to wear V-necks because I am short and I am busty, and I'm overweight, so it thins me, I think.
It does. V-necks are the most flattering unless you have incredibly narrow shoulders. If you are just so narrow, avoid a V-neck. Wear the crew neck or a boat neck or anything that's going to give you width up here is going to be better. So if you are larger busted, a scoop neck, sometimes a square neck, they're harder to find. Square necks are not that popular anymore.
Yeah, I have an square neck from a long time ago that I really do love.
Yeah. But if, a lot of the dresses nowadays have sort of this, this modified crew neck. It's not really like a t-shirt crew neck, but it's not really a scoop neck. So what do you do to break up this area so you can do either a long necklace to give the illusion of a V, or, this was just like a fluky thing I found a couple years ago. But if you just do, some long necklaces or with a pendant or layered, that will give that same illusion just to break up that spanse across our bust line. Because what happens is we just get too mono-bosomy when we neck mono-bosom.
Oh my God, you really cracked me up.
That's what it looks like. It's just, and so you need to break it up. So to break it up and to have the line going in the center of your body so that it will look thinner, because the eye will go to the center. It's amazing how there are certain tricks that you can do that are illusion dressing. And that's one of them, is to wear things that have color or whatever down the center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at 522. Can you think of, so one tip is to wear something down the center, color, or a long necklace.
Add some color into your wardrobe, be it, just try some different things, just over the summer, try a couple of things. Even if it's a matter of just grabbing a little colorful cardigan, cotton cardigan thing at the Target, which they have tons of them, just to try a little color if you are just so lost in all the dark neutrals all the time, or a colorful necklace. Even just try that, just to try to spark it up a little bit and give yourself a little bit more color. And especially for your gals that are interior designers, I know you guys are, we're kissing cousins as far as our industries. And when I walk in somewhere, instantly, because of what I do, and people find out what I do, it's constant head to toe, up and down, up and down, up and down. They want to see how I put all together. And it's going to go with you gals too, because if you are in interior design, you better know color, you better know texture, and your colors better coordinate well together. You can have a big mix of colors and I think in your industry you should. So it gives you some personality. So it kind of shows somebody that you know how to do that.
Yeah.
And mix it all together and do it well. We do, because you work with color, and as I do, you work with fabric, you work with colors. So you need to kind of do that when you wanting to ramp it up a bit, so that when somebody looks at you, they'll go, oh yeah, okay. They know that I think that's basically, because people get that first impressions about us, especially us that work with color and work in creative industries, and they expect us to look like, that we know what we're doing and that we're creative.
Visually, I mean, I'm a coach. I don't do people's houses anymore. I used to do just the artwork. But anyway, I think it is important for, I hear over and over again, I want to work with the higher end clients. And I have to say, you need to look the part. You need to walk the walk. You need to look the part. And that doesn't mean you have to spend a ton of money. I think you made that clear. You can put these looks together for a lesser cost. And that's really important. And I just noticed Kate asked a really important question that we addressed. Kate said, oops, Laura's laughing her ass off. I know, Laura. Okay, best profiles to hide belly fat. So I will tell you, I've got my belly fat. I turn to the side and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so thick now.
I am too. So thick. Narrow from here. I'll just talk about an optical illusion. It's like, can I just walk straight all the time and never turn around?
I want to walk into every room backwards because my ass is so much better than my stomach. So
I got small hips too. It's like, let me go that way, because then you'll think I'm thin. The best silhouettes for the belly, because I've had 3 surgeries. I know what that is all about. You cut the muscle. It's a nightmare. Is anything with a bit of an A-line. So any tops that, are maybe fitted across the boobages and then just softly go out. Never wear a t-shirt that's straight like this and grabs on the rolls. That is an instant way to going fat farmy looking. You just don't want to do that. So as long as you have that little bit of if you have a little bit of gathered, but not, maternity looking, or
That's what I was thinking, because I've tried on shirts and I go, listen, at 53, I'm not going to look pregnant, but at the same time, I think I look pregnant. That's not good.
Yeah, you have to kind of pick and choose on those depending on how they're cut. Some are cut way too full and some are cut more on the narrow, but or inverted pleat in the front. So you just have to look to see, what is going to just glide over that area and not grab onto it.
Okay.
And if you're going to do the volume on the top, have narrow on the bottom. Don't do volume. Don't do volume top and big wide palazzo pants unless you're 9 feet tall model, and get away with it. But if you're petite or normal size, then do narrow on the bottom and more fabric on the top. And then A-line dresses and anything all fitted and that just flare out are going to be your friend. Okay? To hide the guttage.
You gave so many great tips today. I tend to wear the large, if I'm doing a dress, since my legs are still good, I will wear a dress that has a blousey top half and then the tighter skirt on the bottom.
Yeah, try a fit and flare dress. Next time you go into a store, they're all seamed and they fitted. And if you get one with stretch, that's like that scuba fabric, and then they go out. So they cover the guttage. And you can get them to right above the knee. They are the most flattering silhouette you could possibly ever wear.
What's it like?
It's called a fit and flare dress. So they're
fit and flare. Okay.
Just look it up on the internet and you'll see tons of pictures of it. Get one with a V-neck and it'll rock your world.
Really? Because I've never been a fit and flare kind of girl, but I'm going to try it just for you, and I'm going to report back. Well, I had so much fun on this show.
Oh, thank you. I did too.
If you're just tuning in or you're listening on replay, make sure you listen to the whole thing. There is literally tips all throughout. But here's the best part. If you have trouble doing this yourself, don't have time to shop, don't have time to figure out what's good for your shape, like I coach business owners to grow their business to the next level, Lorianne helps you find the look that's right for your body, for your price point, for what you do for a living I know I see some comments I didn't even get to post, but it's either too young or it's too casual. You know what? There are solutions to this.
Yes, there are.
We don't live in the world enough hours to know everything we need to know, which is why Lorianne's career is just perfect for people like me and you guys who are listening, who are struggling with, putting yourselves together. You want to go for that next level of client, you got to look the part. Lorianne, tell everyone again where to find you. And when we're done, make sure you post your links in the comments so people can look you up and watch your lives and hire you when they need you.
I have a free gift that I will actually post. Yeah, I'll post that in the link as soon as we get off. You can find me at www.loriannrobinson.com. That is LORIANNROBINSON.com. And you can also find me that on Facebook. So just connect with me on Facebook, send me a friend request, and I will connect with you too. And as Nancy said, I do lots of Facebook Lives on there also.
You do consultations and you take on clients no matter where they live to help them look better. So I'm doing a presentation in Vegas at the end of July. I might just be calling you because
I want you to look pretty and sassy up there on that stage.
I'm still stuck in I want to look sexy instead of pretty and sassy. That's where I have
You're sassy, sexy. It's a combo. You still can.
Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in today, Weekend Wind Down with Nancy. I hope you enjoyed today. Please share the broadcast. And if you're struggling to grow your business as an interior designer or any other creative entrepreneur, I do coach coaches as well, give me a call. I have a reduced cost strategy call for first-time callers. And, sometimes that's all it takes. 150-minute session to help you make decisions and kick you off the fence and grow your business to the next level. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys all next week at 4:30 Eastern Time for Weekend Wind Down. Thank you, Lorianne.
Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye, everyone.